Lab. Lab. What's going on? What's going on? Another Saturday morning. Uh, let's see here. So we just gonna do ask AMA. Ask me anything. I just do these topics just to kind of put myself out there. If you got any questions, then it just give like an update of any channel updates, any business plans that I have on the Upwork that I'm in progress of accomplishing. So let's see here. Get some things. I'm still downloading some software. Um, Gathering my thoughts at the moment. At the same time, you got any questions? Put them in the chat, and I'll get to them soon as possible. Be right back. So I'll get that stuff later. Um, so I guess the first order of business is something I noticed yesterday, and it's regarding stocks. Something that I noticed yesterday. I did not trade. In case you didn't know, I basically day not a day trader but a swing trader. And normally I try to trade every day. I try to basically trade as much as I can. Sometimes I get busy from from work. But I try to trade every single day. Okay. And this is kind of like a this is a it's something that also you can ask yourself, like, what is my time worth? You know what I'm saying? What is my concerns worth? Because I missed out on something big right here yesterday. And you most likely have too. Let me show you what I missed out on right here. Hold on. Let me show the Google version. This is what I missed out on right here. Now, hopefully you can see this. This is real. $88 day. Sometimes I think about, like, what what's the most profitable stock in one day, right? This is like up there. Okay. $88 in one day, $88.21 in one day. So for every $20 share, $20 worth of stock, basically one, which is about one share, you would have had an $88 profit. That's what I missed out on, and a lot of people missed out on. I missed out on it because I didn't trade. I made a conscious decision not to trade Friday, and it was a terrible decision. I'll just have to say that was not a good decision. That was not a good decision, because it's days like this that you make your money, you make your serious returns. That you basically you know you hunt, and you have some carcass to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, what I'm saying, it can make your whole month. It's days like this you can make it, you can make your whole year, your whole life. I mean, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you how much I could have bought, but I could have bought a nice little chunk that would have been life changing. I mean, nah, I ain't gonna say it'll be life changing, but it'll be a nice come up, a nice momentum. Cause see, what I do is, for every profit uh I make, like, as far as like any profit surplus I make, I pretty much take out 50% of it, and I leave the rest. So whatever I made profit for the month, I keep track of my profit loss, and basically whatever I made for the month, I take half and I deposit the rest. withdraw the rest. So literally, man, I missed out. You know what I'm saying? That would have literally made my whole month. You know, just to be full and frontal for the last, I would say, the last couple months, I've not made profit. The market, and then as well as decisions I made as far as different trading styles, I didn't make any profit. So yesterday would have made me profit for the month, and most likely I would have probably held that profit for the following month. So yeah, I missed out. You most likely did too. You know, it happens. It's gonna continue to happen. You know, the picture on the thumbnail, that's an Impala that I had. That was like the third Impala that I had. I think I'll buy another one of those cars today. I will buy if I see an Impala like that, I will buy it. 2000 or 1999 to 2005 or 2000. Yeah, 2005 is when they changed the Impala's body style. You know what I'm saying? That's when they changed the body style or whatever. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is my third car. That was back when I was married. I used to live in this townhouse, these townhouses right here. You know what I'm saying? Like going 50-50. uh, you know, dealing with all kind of problems. But yeah, this like the third car I had. Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing how I was able to get it. It's like, nobody wants to talk about their flaws and their problems and shit like that. Like they're like, uh, kind of like, troublesome, financial troublesome and stuff like that. But, one of the things I'll say is the more success I get and the more success I accomplish, is the least I give a fuck about what actually the backstory of what happened, yesteryear or whatever. The more I accomplish, and ultimately, when I ultimately, of course, ascend to financial dominance that I want to achieve, that is when I'll be like, I'll tell you the backstory, because that's just how I think about it. That's how I look at it. Like if I overcame something, telling the backstory of like, how did I get that and stuff like that. It does a couple things. One, somebody that's going through that now gives them hope. It it gives a good story to what actually happened, that is very it is humorous to a certain degree, because ultimately you overcame it, and they like, damn, they know somebody knows somebody that overcame that situation too, or whatever. And it becomes a situation where somebody could be like, damn, okay, or wow, okay, that's tripped out. And then people understand. People understand what actually is going on and stuff. People not dumb. A lot of times people think people dumb and stuff like that. People are absolutely aware of what's going on. The dumbest person that you think, they know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They know exactly what's going on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But that's the thing. Like basically, when it comes down to it, I missed out on that one. I didn't trade. That was my fault. That was all my fault. I think every day I'm gonna trade from here on out, right? Every day. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Yep. Every day. So if you probably don't hear it's definitely cream cash rules everything around me in the background. I don't know if it comes up or whatever on the playback. I'll hear it, but or not hear it. But yeah, that's what's playing in the background. I'm sure most people are probably sleeping in, trying to sleep during this Mercury retrograde. Thus again, ask me anything. I'm drinking my inflammation tonic, my inflammation fighter tonic. I posted in the community tab the recipe. Yep, yep. And speaking of inflammation, in case you didn't know, inflammation is basically kind of pain points throughout the body or problems throughout your entire body. That's what that's all inflammation is. And inflammation is basically pain points throughout the body. So let's talk about that because that's something a lot of people deal with. I mean, especially when you get older, you deal with inflammation. And if you don't deal with it, unfortunately, it will deal with you. It will deal with you, basically. Um, that's ultimately what happens. It will deal with you. Um, Meaning that you will ultimately get sicker and sicker and more inflamed, and then ultimately, flamed out. So yeah, this is inflammation. It's basically it's some type of like it says five cardinal signs of inflammation: pain, heat, redness, swelling, or loss of function. So like for example, anywhere, so any healer, right? Like there's healers, actually healers. Like I was actually thinking about getting into it, whereas is Reiki healers. I was gonna take a course and whatnot. There's Reiki healers. So any healer, I would imagine, would basically give you a consultation, and some of the stuff kind of goes hand in hand, like massage and whatnot. It goes hand in hand because the first consultation you would ask, any healer would ask, where are your pain points? Where are you in any current pain, or do you have any pain? And then after that, they'll be like, a person would be like, I'm having pain all over my body, or I'm having pain in my, stomach, or in my abdomen, or in my leg. So the healer would just basically kind of like make a mental map of where this pain is. Where is this pain that you're having? Kind of like make a body map of where this pain is. You know, and from that pain comes after that the treatment. You know, the treatment for that pain. You know, or soreness, or like this actual picture is saying, this depiction of inflammation. It could be some type of soreness. It could be some type of like even redness or swelling. You feeling some type of heat. It could be, you know what also inflammation is? I'm gonna tell you what inflammation also is that they didn't mention. Scratching. Like if you're scratching a particular area, like or multiple areas, that's also a sign of inflammation. I think I would have been a great doctor. You know, I think I would have been, but I'm not really. I'm not into the whole blood and guts and gore and all of that type of stuff that you got to deal with being a nurse or a medical practitioner. If you got your guts is hanging out, go to call 911. I mean, I'm gonna call 911. I'm gonna pick your body up. I'm gonna put it in the car, and I'm gonna go run as fast as I can with my car to the hospital to drop you off. So you can go to the ER so they can, and get you the fast services that you need, stitch you up or whatever. You know, I'm basically my whole thing is prevention and also holistic alternative treatments. That's my thing. That's what I've been into for a long time. But if you already got like you got pus oozing out your neck, you got pus oozing out somewhere, or whatever. I mean, I could say like pus. You need to make some type of like bandage or some type of like cloth rag or something like that. You soak it in witch hazel, peroxide, and Isperol alcohol. You soak it in there, and then you wrap it. You wrap it around the affected area. But see, here's the thing: all pus is leaving the body. It's your body's escape plan, emergency escape plan for getting whatever is infected inside your body out of your pores. So it's using your pores to escape, to get this, like your basically your white blood cells is your defense force, right? So it's trying to get this pus out of your body. So it's trying to push this stuff out, this stuff out your body, which is this infection. And that's what pus is. It basically is trying to use your pores to get this infection out of your body. So that deals with the actual like rag that I just mentioned with the Isperol alcohol, the witch hazel, the benzoyl peroxide. You basically that deals with the exit area of the infected area where the pus is coming out. You have more obvious harder problems to solve now. You actually have infection inside your body that you have to deal with. And that is where certain things such as fasting, right? detoxifying, basically fasting. Then also detox becomes important because basically the reason why you want to fast and do a detox at the same time is basically you've been eating stuff, you've been eating, you've been ingesting stuff inside your body, and what is that actually inside your body, it's already in there. So fasting basically stops whatever processes that you're, whatever you're eating, it puts a break on that, and it basically you're starving your body of whatever is inside your body to process it and use your metabolism to get it out. You're gonna be, even after you fast, it's various forms of fasting. Once you fast, you're gonna basically, it's gonna be weird. You're gonna be like not eating hardly anything, whether you do a liquid fast or uh, even if you do a vegetarian fast. It's various forms of fasting. I would say just try anything that you can if you having issues. The most effective fast is I would say a liquid fast or even a dry fast. Dry fast is kind of difficult because that means you're not even drinking water. But um basically that's why fasting is important. You basically stop whatever's coming inside your body. You put a timeout to it. Call timeout. All right, stop and halt. No more intake of food. We got to deal with, whatever's inside our body that's infected. So then that's where detox comes into play. Because now we already know we got pus coming out our fucking pores. Excuse the language, but sometimes I gotta take it DEFCON 4 or 3 or whatever the fuck. And basically, we gotta deal with whatever's inside our body. We gotta detoxify our body. And if you're thinking of the word toxic and all of these other, words that people talk about and stuff like that, yeah, I definitely believe that why people are acting and their behavior as far as being toxic themselves is because they're sick. You got a lot of people walking around sick. Their bodies are toxic. They're eating fucking all of this crap and then they're toxic. Yes, toxic, and then they're having toxic thoughts. Whatever's inside their body, usually in their gut, kidneys, heart, intestines, is toxic. Then basically they start spewing toxic things out their mouth. They start thinking toxic things. All of this shit is relative. It all enter, uh pretty much regulates in some form of fashion. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, if you're toxic 9 times out of 10, you got some toxic properties inside your body that's causing you to be toxic. And yeah, it don't matter how much money you make. If you sick and you're toxic, you gotta you better deal with that first. And if you got money, that it's easier to deal with it actually. Because a lot of times people, that are, let's talk about it, people that are in the trenches, right? They too busy. They gotta go to work. They gotta go to work. You know, they gotta go to work. They forced on that 9 to 5 act. That 9 to 5 act. So you will be doing a detox, and then Carol, she want to go to lunch. She want to go eat some Subway, and she asking you, "Hey, you want to go to get some Subway real quick?" Now you got to tell Carol, explain to her that you detoxing, and then you got to waste your breath. You gotta have a 30-minute conversation about why you got to detox, and then you might have to do that to, like, depending on how social you are, to like 10 or 15 other people. you know, you gonna have to explain why you farting and shit all over the workplace. Why you smell it? If you work around people with cubicles and stuff, like me, I'm. It's not that many people I work with, right? So I kind of I got my own space to a certain degree, at least half of the space. But if you work like, let's say, a call center or any corporate environment where it's cubes, and the only thing that's separating you is a divider, you coming in, man, you got random poots, random farts, because your body is basically detoxifying itself. You're fasting at the same time because you're trying to get this infection, this inflammation out of your body, trying to deal with inflammation. You know, Alonzo Hall, all star advisor, he was interested in more discussion about this. So I was already into pretty much thinking about discussing it anyway, because it is important. So you dealing with trying to get this infection out of your body. You at work, you in the trenches, trying to pay them bills. Trust me, I understand. And you Putin, you going back and forth to the bathroom, taking number twos. For women, this is kind of more difficult than men. Men, they might say something, notice some unusual behavior, but women, they say something more to other women or whatever, and they talk more, so it's like it becomes more of a problem, more so with women in the workplace, because around other women, yeah, it's a lot of explaining to do to the sisterhood. you know Men, you ain't got nothing like that, so it's every man for himself. So it's like, if anything, um it's probably even more understanding, because men, pretty much, we already know we on our own, every man for himself. And that's actually, in case women didn't know, that's actually a defense play in sports, in both football and basketball. You know, Pretty much we agree, okay, every man for himself, meaning whoever you want to guard, just guard them. Usually it works. If it don't work, then you got to go to 2-3 or the 3-2. You know, in the 2-3, it's like, pretty much you got two opposing defensive players on top, and then three in the back, or 3-2. I'm talking about basketball. You have three opposing defenders up front, and then two down on the side. And then football, it's a little different, but Basically, every man for himself is the same thing. Just every man defend one particular person equally. So yeah, I mean, yeah, men, that's how we operate. That's our world. Every man for himself. Now it is groups, it's associations, and gangs, and all kind of the social dynamics amongst men. But at the core of everything, I'm dealing with, my own personal inflammation. That's why you hear me coughing. You know, I'm drinking this tonic, and it's pretty good. And pretty much that dynamic of every man for himself is like basically, all right, you're on your own, and you're supposed to take care of everything you got to take care of. I mean, women operate like that to a certain extent as well, but women are more communal than men are. Just I think it's something nature related, But all of that aside, back to you detoxing in the trenches, in the cube, and then also let me, sell myself as well as sell you. I sell detox herbs. Primarily, I sell my energy supplements. It's called Sex God. That's my number one seller. And the reason why it's my number one seller is because I use a marketing technique such as I sell one item. Initially, I sell one item because it's easier to sell one particular all-star item. Like for example, is and I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, I'm a genius. I can't help it. Um, I do more than I'm more than a one-trick pony. So bear with me if you can. So basically, this is what kind of selling one item to sell more items or sell everything you sell. Nintendo did that, right? 1984, 85. What did they do? They come out with the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, right? You had to blow in the cartridges. They sold Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers, primarily Mario Brothers. Okay, and everybody got the Nintendo system. They running out to get the Nintendo system so they can get Mario Brothers, right? Once they got Mario Brothers, then they like, oh snap! They got Duck Hunt, they got Zelda, they got Metroid and all these other games and stuff like that. But initially, what got people in the door was Mario Brothers. So yeah, I sell quite a bit of different herbal packages. Ultimate Detox is what'll do it for you. So yeah, that's on owlsherbs.com. Let's get back to inflammation. Dealing with inflammation here. That's the reason for the detox. We already know we most people are gonna be in the trenches, okay, trying to do this. Gonna be a little difficult for those that are on the freedom fighter side of things. Okay, freedom fighter side of things. They might have a business, might even work a 9 to 5, but they like a director, executive, middle manager, upper management, and they could kind of pick their own schedule. They can even work from home. You have more freedom to kind of deal with your health problems. Thus, why money is important or wealth is important um anyways, right? Because basically with money, with wealth, right, you can get some of your time back possibly. It's a possibility of getting more of your time back. So you can deal with more of your issues. You know, I remember I remember my one of my homies in high school, man. We were like, we were dogs, you know. We were definitely dogs. I mean, it is what it is. His mom used to work all the time. I mean, constantly work. Like she would work these overnight schedules. So, I mean, we were living like yuppies in high school because his mom worked. So we just basically had a whole house. He had a whole house to himself. And imagine how that works out being a young male in high school when you got a whole entire house with yourself with an older brother and sisters. Okay. I mean, basically, you could just imagine what went down with those scenarios. And you're not socially awkward, you know, and you know how to talk to women and everything is concerned. It's just a recipe for it's a recipe for basically being a dad at an early age. I'll just say I'll just take it all the way there to the extreme. But the thing is that um with all of that said, basically when you got to work all the time, you're taking away from your life to deal with somebody's business. That's what you're doing. When you working a job, you're taking your life away, whatever you're doing, and you're working for somebody else's company in their life and helping their business, which is their part of their life. And you're taking away from your life, your children, your responsibilities. Even it becomes even a health issue. It's hard to even schedule a health a doctor's appointment. What do you need? You need to let your manager know, or you need to take PTO to go to you know go to the doctor or to the dentist. If you got a cool company, like, I mean, my company I work for now, they not tripping off that. If you got to block out a couple hours to go to the doctor, go to the dentist, you know, that's fine. That's all right. That's what I'm saying. If you got any company that is more of a team environment, they're gonna let you get a couple hours so you can go to the doctor. If you work remote, obviously, yeah. I mean, it's the same. You might not have to even tell your managers or whatever. You might have to, okay, I gotta go to this appointment or whatever, you know. But I'm just saying, it becomes more easier the more money you have to, and the more, and I don't want to even say money. It's not money based. It's more freedom based, more time based. Let's just say, because basically, some of the important things are what: air, time, water. So like when it comes down to it, when you have your life formulated, hopefully you do. If you at that point where you're a freedom fighter, you have more control over your time than somebody in the trenches. So I want you to think about that. I'm going to take a break. I got to get me some more water. I'll be right back. Also, coffee is a good inflammation fighter as well. Coffee coffee is a very good inflammation fighter. Very, very good at fighting inflammation. You don't want to probably drink a lot of coffee after a certain time. I would say anything after like 1 o'clock or noon. You probably don't want to drink that much coffee. And coffee is a diuretic, so it robs your body of water. So you're gonna have to, after you start consuming your coffee, you're going to have to drink more cups of water to replenish that water inside your body and thus cleanse the coffee out. Usually, one thing about coffee you can pretty much depend on is gonna make you take a dump. Coffee, depending on how good the coffee is and well formulated it is, as soon as you drink, 1 cup, you're trying to go to the nearest bathroom, you know. And it does quite a few things. It enhances the mood, makes you feel good, you know. It even makes you want to have sex. It's an aphrodisiac. Every time I drink a cup of coffee, matter of fact, I might put a cup of coffee on in the morning. Um, I start feeling good down in the land of down below. Um, the land down below starts to feel real good after I drink a cup of coffee. Uh, but yeah, that's one thing that you can implement with your detoxification is a cup or two of coffee. Also, tea. As tea. Tea is definitely basically what tea is basically you drinking herbs. You're actually drinking. You're drinking hot herbs. That's what tea is. So definitely, I'm a tea drinker as well. I primarily drink more coffee than tea, but I take some time out and have some hot tea. So all of these things basically enhance your life. These are life enhancers. Okay, and also deal with that inflammation. So after you detoxify comes healing. You have to start healing your inflammation. After you detoxify, you have to start healing yourself. Now healing is crazy. It's a crazy world. I mean, yeah, it's also a crazy world, and it's also a crazy word, because healing, it encompasses a multitude of things. I mean, it just does. Healing is also internally, like your actual physical body, your mind, your mindset, uh, your past history of the traumatic experiences that you had to overcome. Because we all are living humans, animals that had to deal with like all of the traumatic experiences of life, and every person's life has some unique traumatic experience that they had to overcome. So you gotta, that's part of healing, right? Exercise therapy, right? We gotta, drop down and do 50 push-ups. If you can't do it, at least think about it first. If not nothing else, if you're not working out, you should be in your mind thinking, meditating what that would look like, of you working out. Even if you're not working out, even if you're not doing like you got some exercises that you want to do and you not done them yet, you not started them yet. You got all these excuses in your brain, all of these, mental hangups and stuff like that. Just think. That's the first action. Even if you're not doing it, just think, what would that look like? Imagine what that would look like. How would I do that? And that comes into like mindfulness. That's mindfulness. What would that look like? Me working out. A lot of times people have things that are bogging us down. Some people are with, they have their children and, dealing with their children. Damn, how can I integrate this with my children? Working out and not be a plate monster. How can I avoid being a plate monster, a plate bandit, and deal with my children at the same time? That I have to cook plates for them. And then I eat whatever's left over, which, if you got young kids, there is usually a lot left over. How do I avoid being a plate monster, and integrate my children? And then, I live in a cold part of the United States. So how can I implement going, to work out and all of that with and then have children, and I have children at the same time? Well, here's the thing, right? The first thought would be, right, they have certain health clubs. I I don't know if they charge, but they have a children's like area where they have somebody like basically have like a proxy daycare inside the health club. That's far stepping. Basically, your children gonna do whatever that you probably gonna do, or they gonna laugh at you, or they gonna try to make it hard for you. They're human too. You just gotta work out in front of your kids. Shit. I mean, when I have my daughters, I do my yoga and I show them, okay, this is how you do the yoga pose. Okay, we gotta do a couple push-ups, sit-ups, and just do it in front of them in the same room. Just get some little area in the same room, get your exercise bike in the same room or treadmill in the same room they are, and then just basically do you and then watch them at the same time. A lot of times people make it hard in their mind. Like, I'm a Virgo. A lot of times I make a mountain out of a molehill. And making that mountain out of that molehill makes it harder than what it should be. You want to work out if it's easy to work out in your home, just work out from just designate, control your environment. You know, uh work out in front of your children, or basically move them to the area where you can watch them if they have to be watched, to where your exercise area is. They do what they're told, right? When I was a child, I had to do what I was told. If your children are not doing what's being told by you, then you have more issues that are more aligned with parenting issues. You have parenting issues, and that's a discussion for another day. So yeah, that's one way of dealing with that. If you got little ones, got children, of course you got older children, pretty much still can't leave them at home. you still you still can't, even if you got older children, you can't leave them at home, right? You just go to a park. If it's warmer, go to the park. Um, get bikes, you know, ride bikes through the neighborhood, or basically you do the same thing. You have your exercise equipment that you already in the house. So I'm gonna just tell you, basically like it is. I mean, if you in the house, you good. Once your children over like 12, over 10 years old, you in the house, you pretty much good. Once you get outside on the other side of that door, that's when it becomes complicated. Now, if your children are outside and you inside working out, that's a problem. You definitely got to make sure you checking on your children. Things can go from hell to a handbasket, um, real quick. I'm just thinking of stories in my head that actually happened. That yeah, you know, it was challenging some days, playing outside with other children. But nevertheless, yeah, that is complicated. That is complicated, working out in front of your children or having children and working out at the same time. It becomes complicated. Anything becomes complicated because you got other humans, you got other people around you, that you're responsible for. It becomes complicated. It just does. That's why having a basically a husband and a wife becomes so valuable. Having somebody to basically basically assist you in some form or fashion, even if that's just watching your own children. That becomes very, very valuable. So yeah, healing is it's a lot of different factors when it comes to healing. You know, Healing is also just understanding, oh, I got to do something different. That's also healing, right? That's or post healing, right? Where you're also treating what's ailing you, and you come to the understanding, obviously. Well, I keep eating these cow burgers and pork burgers. I mean, and I'm getting big as a house, and I'm becoming a plate monster. And I've been a plate monster for about 20, I mean, 2 decades, 3 decades now, or 5 decades. I've been a plate monster, a plate bandit, and then, not really working out, because basically working out, sweating, cardiovascular activities is basically you creating a caloric deficit. You basically you're burning calories more than you're taking in calories. So, being a plate bandit and plate monster, right? Overeating, because most the reason why I keep saying plate, plate, plate is because most people's problems are in their midsection. They're overeating, which is an indication that you're overeating. America is the one of the richest countries in the world. Food is not a problem in this country. Thank God. Thank God. Food is not an issue. It's just not. It's abundance of food, right? So people overeat. It's so comfortable to just overeat that people do it. All of these snacks and just I mean, you go to the you go to the grocery store, and then once a mom has like teenage kids, she like, damn, I just spent $100 on groceries. I come home, I get all these snacks and I get all these meals and everything. It's all gone like after a couple days. It's like, damn, you know, and it's like it's because people get in the habit of overeating at an early age, and it continues on till some people do it for the rest of their days. To be honest, um, and it aids in inflammation and different types of inflammation. I mentioned the pus coming out of your basically pores. It could be pains, pressure pressure points of pain all throughout your body, and then healing, basically you might have to get regular massages. We don't get regular massages. That's a huge issue because massages are basically important because basically some of those pressure points need to be massaged out, like basically a deep tissue massage or Swedish massage. It's important that those pressure points are massaged out. Those pain pressures are regularly massaged out. I mean, it is very, very important. It's kind of expensive, and it goes into actually being healthy is sometimes expensive. It's very expensive. Only way to counteract that is if you have a partner that you guys both help each other. You know, you because see, like for example, one of the I'm gonna give one of my techniques of basically um how I used to get the panties basically. I mean I basically know how to give good massages. I'm a beast when it comes to massages.
400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day. You just sit here, you don't know what I'm talking about?
But okay, I'm giving massages. Who gonna give me a massage? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you give each other help or give each other value. It's important. It just, I mean, it just goes hand in hand. I mean, like a lot of times, that's why people, one of the valuable things of having a relationship is if you both are helping each other out. Now, if you ain't got nobody to help you out, then one person is selfish. That's you know that's a problem. I mean, obviously that's a problem. But yeah, I'm actually having that same problem like with my locks. Like I'm getting torn out the frame with locks because one of the things about having locks is it's costly to get, twists and maintenance and stuff like that. Depending on what type of hair you have. Like my hair is, I have a lot of European ancestry, so my hair is really, really fine. I don't have four C hair or 4B. My stuff is in the threes. So a lot of times, like my hair, it takes a while to kind of set and hold, and then it gets unraveled. A lot of people probably would have already cut their hair and then just went back to whatever hairstyle that they originally had, which is typically what, a bald fade or whatever, regular short haircut, or a little mini fro, whatever the case may be, they would have already done that. I'm just kind of trying my best way to just keep it under wraps. But yeah, I'm having a hard time keeping my locks up. And I know why. I mean, if I had pretty much, a regular partner to just basically do my locks, help me with my locks once a week, twice a week, I wouldn't have to go run to, anybody or schedule an appointment. And it gets expensive. You know, it's like in the hundreds. It's 75, $80 every time you want to get your hair retwisted or whatever, especially when you first starting locks. It gets really really expensive, and for a man it's like, dude, let me, what I'm saying, like, one thing about men, we understand, okay, yeah, women have a very very expensive lifestyle. I mean, getting the hair done and all of that type of stuff, that gets very very expensive. So when it comes to that, like, I'll be like, dang, I mean, I mean, geez, Louise, man. So I mean, I learned to do certain things myself, but a lot of things, it's like getting someone to add that value of helping you out is very very essential. You know, if you have somebody that's selfish, then like I say, that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, I mean, people around you can aid in your healing. And your healing, like I say, is multifaceted, very, very multifaceted. And it's also, you have to address, and we all do, we all have weaknesses. You have to address, well, I'm obviously healing myself, but how did I get this way? Did I get this way eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, berries, honey, and rice cakes? No, I obviously got this way eating the polar opposite, which is hard animal flesh, fat, processed food, etc., etc., etc. And it's like, damn, okay, well, it goes back to an old book by somebody called Elijah Muhammad that said how to eat to live, or you are what you eat. So that's why people come walking around looking like oxes, you know, looking like cows. They're eating cows. Looking like pigs, eating pigs. Bird legs, eating too much bird. I kid you not. It's an epiphany that I had a long time ago. Yeah, you definitely are what you eat. It's so much of a problem that people actually are trying to justify eating eating that way and not being uh, judged for it, or even wanting to fight other people that are not, are quote unquote skinny, or not fat. That's that bad. It is that bad. Some people have different body types, And I have to really talk about that to a certain extent. There's different body types because you know it's people that can eat ribs, eat all of that stuff. I mean, you'll ultimately, you know, still get sick, but they won't be fat. They won't. They will not. They will not be fat whatsoever because it's different body types. Some people are genetically skinny, genetically just you know have a different body type. They were born with that. Their parents usually were had the same body type. Grandparents. So basically, you have ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. Some people are a combination of all three of these. That's what people don't really tell you. There's nuances to almost everything. But an ectomorph person, woman or man, let me get this banner off here. You see them, you know, you see these people. They eating the same Harold's half white with mild sauce and salt and pepper that you are, but they skinny as a mitt and gonna be after they even eat the chicken. And then you coming up in there obese or morbidly obese, and you getting the Harold, you getting the same order. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you have a endomorph body type. So I have an endomorph body type. You know, I'm pretty much a large frame. But the thing about what you're eating animal flesh. It's changing your body type. It's changing your body structure to where you're getting big. You're taking on that animal protein, that animal DNA, and now you get it big. You get big as a house. It's addictive. Almost everything unchecked is addiction. Damn near. That's why it's called balance. So it's different things, it's different strategies depending on your body type. You know, some ectomorphs, they want to actually get big. They're trying. There's people that's actually like really skinny. They're trying to get big. I'm like, damn, what? You trying to get what? Trying to get big? Man, get your ass up out of here. That's what I be thinking in my head. Like, get your ass up out of here. Trying to get big, man. You better enjoy that skinny frame. I'm gonna tell you another thing too. This is tripped out here, and you know most people notice this, right? If you look at the continent of Africa, right? The East, the people of the East Africa, tend to be more ectomorph. People on the West are more endomorph. And I'm gonna blow your mind today. This is also why I'm not racist or I'm not so much of a bigot or whatever. The people up north of Africa and Europe have the same body type. Have the same body type. What? Ask yourself why that is. On both sides of Europe, both sides, east and west. So yeah, yeah, healing. I mean, you that wrestling, like why are you healing? Wrestling of what am I gonna do? Am I gonna keep doing the same damn thing? I got a cousin that he don't want to give up meat. He on dialysis, about looking for another kidney. Um, having issues getting a kidney because I mean basically you in order to get a kidney you have to have your health in order to be able to donate a kidney and also even really to be honest to receive a kidney. He don't want to give up no meat. He'd rather you can safe to say he'd rather die than give up meat. That shit it's wild. But even in the face of death, I mean, he got 1,000 yard step, man. He never stepped a foot in war or military. He got that 1,000 yard motherfucking step because he fighting death. I mean, I used to pretty much listen to um Alan Roger Curry. Alan Roger Curry. A lot of people probably didn't know he was on dialysis for years, and then he got that call, or pretty much the upper room. You know what I'm saying? He got that call, come home, and that was it. And it kind of goes into kind of where you spend your time, and priorities. My channel does not prioritize uh, money in wealth. Yeah, this is a financial channel, but at the same time, what good is money when you sick?
Message.
I'm gonna ask that again. What good is it? What good is money when you sick? You ever notice when you had a whole bunch of money and then you were sick that day, or you were sick, you had a sick day basically. You were sick, just something bug got in your system, whatever the case may be, a toothache, whatever the hell the situation is, you were sick as a dog that day. Was you thinking about your bank account? Was you thinking about the money even in your wallet? That's the question I have to ask. Was you thinking about those things? I doubt it. I know I wasn't. I wasn't thinking about the money in my wallet nor money in my accounts. I was just thinking, do I have enough money in my account to go get me something to get me some medicine or to I wasn't even, to be honest with you, I ain't gonna even cap. I wasn't even thinking about none of that shit. I was just trying to heal myself as fast as I can. as fast as I can. That was all I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking about no money, none of that shit. Nothing. And then I'm not gonna lie to you. Some things are out of balance. Your life is out of balance. Go back here. Out of balance. You got things you have to work on other than relationships. You got bigger fish to fry, bro. Sis, you got bigger fish to fry. I mean, I'm all for sex and encouragement. But that's all you could provide at that point. When you on this bottom here struggling for these bottom things, that's all you could pretty much do is give sex and encouragement. But you know how that goes. People start giving more than sex and encouragement. You know, they start actually giving more, more humans. Start creating more humans in encouragement, and then it becomes more of an issue. You know, you you become struggle partners, which I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about that, and it's overhyped. I'm gonna tell you that whole struggle love concept is an overhyped concept. It's a way overhyped concept. It's a selling point for um relationship gurus or coaches or whatever the fuck to try to sell you on a particular stance in life, trying to influence you on a stance in life. Just think about it. It's very, very common sense. One plus one equals two. One equals one. If you have somebody else that's even close to one, maybe they're not all whole, right? They're not a full one. Just for the sake of discussion or math, they're a point 0.5. Now at least you got a 1.5. By yourself, you're just one. I mean, you can't say that, well, I'm better by my, yeah, you can't say I'm better by myself if you don't have somebody, to help you out. But basically, a wholesome guy that might be struggling, right, is better than no man, and also better than a man with money that basically will absolutely destroy your soul. In the words of Platinum Elite, a broke dude that is basically struggling, that is on the come up, he just needs some help, and you also need some help. So you trying to criticize somebody that needs help when you also need help yourself, and you pretty much, okay, you looking for basically these guys here, they're gonna absolutely destroy you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why they're gonna absolutely destroy you. Not all of them, but you might catch somebody or whatever. But this is why they're gonna absolutely destroy you. Possibly. It's because you're meeting them after the battle. They already won the war. You're meeting them after they already won the war. They're gonna absolutely destroy you because you coming to them when they already have the success, and they know you already coming to them because you got the success. They knew how it was having the cutlass with the ignition, that basically they had to basically put two wires together because they ain't had no keys to start the car, and they barely had $10 in their pocket. They knew those days. And you know what I'm saying, they still were able to get women in those days, and they had struggles. They done went through all of these struggles. They done been in situations where they might have had to sleep in a homeless shelter for a period of time. They ain't had no job for a period of time, and they were struggling. And they were still having relationships then, or still dealing with women then, or some of the women they had problems with, whatever the case may be. And you meeting them with the Maserati and a Bentley in the garage in the mini mansion with $500,000 in the bank account and $1 million a real estate portfolio. This is when you meeting them at the club or out and about or whatever, because you see them driving their Maserati. They're gonna absolutely destroy you, because basically, if you come to them with some old weak ass bullshit that you learn from some YouTuber of how to get a provider mail, or a guy to give you some money, you gonna meet somebody like me that just basically ain't gonna even destroy you like you probably thinking in your mind. You gonna get destroyed over a phone call or text message. And basically somebody like me will be like, I don't talk to broke women, sorry. Or I'll give you, I won't say that. That's cap. I don't even talk like that. I'll give you a link to my book, and then that will be the end of discussion. Now I'll block you. I'll give you a link to my book, The Millionaire Savings Plan, and then I'll block you. And you'll be absolutely destroyed if you go that way. Or you can buy the book, then you know what I'm saying, the rest is history, according to your own history that you write. But other men, they might take you on or take your offer on. And then you thinking that they gonna lead a lifestyle that they have to be with you, or give you some of their lifestyle. They gonna get the pussy, and then they gonna be like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out. And then you gonna be upset, and you gonna feel absolutely destroyed because you thought you was gonna come up. Yep. And that's what Kevin Samuels was talking about. That was what he was talking about. You you trying to meet somebody while they're already at the finish line. You a Jenny come lately. Jenny come lately, trying to meet some rich man, financially successful man at the finish line. When you could just get someone that basically y'all both can help each other heal because you toxic and sick. See how I just went right back to it? But you know what? I mean, that's what it comes down to. You know, it's tough medicine. Um, it's tough. I'm not gonna pander to anybody. I'm not gonna pander to anyone. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. It is what it is. You already know. You know yourself. Everybody knows what how much full of shit they are. They know. They just want somebody to make them feel good and tell them the opposite of what they already know to give them some type of hope. But you already know where you are and why you struggling. You know why you struggling. That's why you keep coming back.